This is Hutch Mansell, the most wimpy guy in America. He carries a thermos everywhere and, at over 50, is stuck in a dead-end job at his father-in-law's factory doing the same boring stuff every day. Life's a total flatline for him. One night, Hutch finds 2 burglars in his house. He grabs a golf club and gets ready to call the cops. The thief spots him and pulls a gun, demanding cash. Hutch points to a bowl of change, but the thief thinks it's not enough and snatches his watch too. Just when the thief is about to leave, Hutch's son, Blake, charges in yelling, "Dad, do something!" Another thief rushes over, pointing a gun at Blake. Hutch slowly approaches with the golf club. This is the perfect moment to act, but he hesitates and then lowers it, then orders Blake to let the thief go. As they leave, the thief punches Blake, who's confused and asks,
"What the Dad?"
Hutch's cowardice is evident. He let the thief get away. When the police arrive, they begin to ridicule him during the questioning. They point out that he had the chance to protect his family, but backed down at the critical moment, calling him weak and pathetic. Blake feels devastated, seeing his dad as a total coward. The neighborhood buzzes with gossip about what happened, and they can't help but make fun of Hutch.
Man, I wish they'd have picked my place, you know? Could have used the exercise.
After he laughs at him, he brags about his V8 engine classic car. At work, Hutch's brother-in-law, who's always looked down on him, can't believe this loser could protect his sister. So he buys Hutch a handgun for self-defense. Hutch holds the gun, lost in thought. Should he have really acted back then? At 50, Hutch's intelligence is sharper than Sherlock Holmes. On the night of the robbery, he instantly recognized the duo, a man and a woman holding an old .38 revolver. Their faces oozed tension and desperation, and he noted the gun looked rusted and unused. More importantly, it was unloaded. Hutch sensed this was their first crime and decided to let them go. But when he gets home, his daughter tells him her precious cat bracelet is missing from the change bowl. This sparks a fire in him. Money can go, but not his daughter's treasure. Furious, he rushes to his father's nursing home and retrieves his dad's ID. Surprisingly, it's an FBI badge. What kind of family is Hutch part of? Remembering the tattoo on the thief's arm, he begins searching tattoo shops one by one. Soon, he finds a lead. Late at night, he breaks into the couple's apartment, where they are having dinner together. Never mess with a father who has a daughter. Hutch delivers a crushing blow to the man's head and points his gun at his forehead, demanding the woman give him the watch and asking where his daughter's cat bracelet is. Just then, the piercing cries of a baby suddenly fill the room. He raises the gun and pushes open the bedroom door, finding a tiny baby on a ventilator. It's heartbreaking to see such a small child in need. Hutch quietly lowers his revolver and turns to leave, realizing this couple is also desperate for survival. With nowhere to channel his anger, he punches the wall in frustration. He's found the thieves who took his daughter's bracelet, but feels powerless against them. Afterward, he takes the bus home. Should the weak be bullied? A group of rich, spoiled brats spills out of their SUV late at night, crashing into a barrier and forcing a bus to stop. The bus driver slams on the brakes, almost sending Hutch flying from the back seat. The troublemakers jump out, excited to see the girl on the bus. They start banging on the doors, prompting the nervous driver to reluctantly open them. As the punks rush on board, Hutch watches them closely. The thugs knock a book out of the hands of a bald guy, who tries to pick it up but gets a foot on it instead. Furious, he stands up, towering over them, but outnumbered, he backs down and exits. The thugs surround the girl, making crude comments and preparing to get handsy. Suddenly, Hutch stands up and walks through them. Girl's eyes plead for help as she glances at Hutch. Without hesitation, he snatches the phone from the bus driver and urges her to get off the bus, warning her not to call the cops. Then, he locks the doors and stays behind, ready to unleash his wrath. Never underestimate a 50-year-old guy.
What are you still doing here, old man?
Hutch pulls out a handgun and empties all the bullets.
I'm gonna f you up.
The thugs hear this and immediately burst into laughter. Braid Guy strides confidently toward Hutch, and the first round of confrontation begins. Braid Guy lands a sucker punch and hits Hutch on the face. Hutch staggers and almost falls. The bad guys crack up real loud. Hutch quickly throws a punch back. Then he takes 3 punches in a row and hits hard on the bus pillar. The bad guys never expect that getting beaten can kickstart Hutch's beast mode. Hutch goes berserk like a beast on the loose and takes down one dude in a flash. Then wham! A haymaker lands. At this time, a guy behind sneaks up and attacks. Hutch reacts quickly. Hutch presses the neck of one bad guy and kicks down another. At this moment, yellow-haired Teddy takes out a dagger and stabs straight at Hutch. Hutch endures the great pain and knocks him down with one punch. Hutch bumps the other guy's arm on the pole, and the guy yelps in pain. The fight continues. Hutch squeezes two dudes' heads under his pits. Braid Guy seizes the chance to boot Hutch and knocks him onto the seat. The first round ends. All the bad guys on the other side are injured. Hutch is wicked fierce. He takes off his watch and puts it on his hand as a knuckle guard. Then he yanks out the sharp dagger holstered at his side and gets ready to jump back into the fight. In an instant, he slices down hard and stabs deep into the thigh of the guy opposite. In a flash, he kicks. Then he snatches up a rope in a jiffy and deftly whips it around the bad guy's neck. At this moment, the bad guys unleash a crazy full-on assault. Hutch plows forward with all he's got, actually falls straight out of the bus window. Do the bad guys think it's over? Well, it's not up to them to decide. Hutch is the one calling the shots. He gets up again, limping but tough. He opens the bus door and steps back onto the bus. The third round of the fierce battle begins. Hutch hastily hassles the girl to leave quickly. Hutch quickly cuts the seatbelt and ties it firmly around his palm. With one hand tightly holding the dagger, by now the 5 bad guys have already started to regret. Why did they mess with a girl tonight? But it's too late for regrets. Hutch goes ballistic and enters berserk mode. His combat power shoots up more than 20-fold in a blink. This time, Hutch is wicked savage in his assaults, and he subdues 4 bad guys all at once. Teddy snatches up the piece on the ground and racks up the bullets one by one. Hutch is ice-cold calm. He powerfully snaps a steel pipe in two. Right on cue, he unleashes a sweeping whopper. Then wham! A skull-crushing blow lands. Just like that, Hutch kicks ass and takes names. His eyes lock on Teddy, sprawled on the ground. Teddy is barely breathing. Looks like his windpipe is jammed up. In a flash, Hutch is like a freaking Super Doc Shawn. He makes a bold cut on the dude's throat and shoves a drink straw in. He successfully saves Teddy's life. Then Hutch gets off the bus and hands the phone back to the driver. He staggers and disappears into the noisy night market. Oh man, that's wicked satisfying. Those bad guys can't do evil anymore. Friends who think Hutch did great, come and give this video a thumbs up. Hutch goes back home. His wife is waiting for him. Seeing Hutch covered in blood all over, his wife quickly bandages his wounds. The next day, Hutch goes for a morning run again, as if full of energy. Who in the hell is this badass Hutch? Can the rich really bully the weak? Unexpectedly, Teddy is revealed to be the mob boss's brother. The boss, Julian, certainly won't let Hutch off easily. Using the Metro card Hutch dropped, they find out he's just a lowly accountant with a father in a nursing home. When they enter Hutch's name into the intelligence database, they hit an access restriction. Who is this mysterious figure? Eventually, they uncover Hutch's classified resume filled with secrets. It turns out Hutch works as an FBI agent specializing in taking down mobsters. Julian orders Hutch to be captured alive. Realizing he's in deep trouble, Hutch soon learns that Julian's men are closing in on his home. How freaking badass is a retired FBI agent? Highly alert Hutch hurries his family to hide in the basement quickly. Then he turns off the power, grabbing a sturdy baseball bat and waiting intently for the opportunity to attack. The bad guys are all top-notch mercenaries, wearing masks and carrying fierce submachine guns. Hutch lurks in the shadows, seeing an opportunity and knocks out 2 men with one swing of the bat. These men dare to break into his house. This time, Hutch shows no mercy at all, strikes with the bat and gets the first kill, then breaks the bat and stabs to get a double kill. Next, approaches quietly with a fruit knife and gets a triple kill, takes advantage of the enemy's shooting and gets a quadruple kill. Quickly grabs the enemy's gun for a quintuple kill. There are still some stubborn bad guys. Hutch hits them with a plate, then pours boiling water on their faces, and hits a kettle hard to get a 6th kill. At this moment, a foolish person starts shooting wildly. Hutch runs quickly through a shortcut, jumps into close combat, and controls the man with his foot. Just then, another man comes and is about to be defeated. Hutch gets his 7th kill in a row, but there is a sneaky man who approaches quietly from behind and stuns Hutch with a stun gun. This ends Hutch's killing streak. When Hutch wakes up again, he finds himself locked in a very small car trunk. Hutch's hands are cuffed, trapped in the trunk of a car. So how is he going to escape? Hutch forces hard and dislocates his thumb. Then he smoothly breaks free from the cuffs. Next, he finds a fire extinguisher in the trunk. He bites open the safety pin, kicks open the back seat, sprays the fire extinguisher wildly in the car. In an instant, dust fills the car and they can't see anything around. In the chaos, the car smashes into a telegraph pole hard, and those bad guys are not wearing seatbelts at all. Only Hutch crawls out of the car with difficulty. He rushes home and urges his wife and kid to leave quickly. The family sees the fallen mercenaries in front of them. Especially the son can't believe this is Dad's doing at all. From this moment on, they don't dare to look down on Hutch anymore. Hutch burns down the house. Right then, Julian sends people to find Hutch's dad, David. A pistol is aimed at sleeping David, but suddenly, David opens his eyes, quickly grabs the safety pin of the pistol. Then a shotgun sticks out from under the blanket, blowing a guy away with one shot. Another shot, and takes out another. The janitor hears the gunshots and rushes over, but complains that the TV is too loud.
Come on, David. Please turn that shit down.
Looks like David is even tougher than Hutch. Hutch is dead set on taking down Julian, the big bad gang boss, to nip future trouble in the bud. He feverishly crafts all sorts of weapons. He saws through a steel bar and jams it into an air cannon, then grinds up bullets and plunks them into a mousetrap. He mixes nails and gunpowder to cobble together a bomb. Hutch storms into Julian's vault solo and takes out the guards one by freaking one. He pours gasoline into the fire hose and splashes gasoline all over Julian's vault like crazy, then lights a wad of bills and torches it to the ground. So much freaking cash. There's gotta be at least 10 billion. Then Hutch saunters into Julian's bar and sits there all nonchalant, chowing down on steak and sipping red wine. He tells Julian real slow that he torched his vault. Julian is fuming mad, but Hutch rolls in with a bomb. Nobody dares make a move. Hutch bolts out of the bar slick as can be, and Julian sends all his goons after him. Hutch lures them to a warehouse he's already set up, gets shot in the shoulder by accident. He dives behind a car in a flash. All of a sudden, the glass above him shatters. Turns out, Hutch's bro shows up to help, and his father comes packing a gun to lend a hand. This is the coolest trio ever. Don't look at them as old guys, but they can take down 100 gang killers and never miss a shot. Make the enemies have no chance to fight back at all. The traps set up by Hutch all work. Snap on the mousetrap, light the fuse. The traps activate. Gang guys keep falling down one after another. In the end, only Julian is left. He shoots wildly at the three, but all their bullets are used up. What should they do now? Hutch takes out a bomb, tapes it on the glass with duct tape, holds the fuse in his teeth, and uses the glass panel as a shield and rushes out. When close to Julian, he pulls the fuse and boom. The two fall down with a sound. Julian is blown up horribly. All the gangs are completely wiped out by Hutch. Hutch wakes up, hugging his father and old pal tightly. He calls his wife to tell her he's safe, then holds the little kitty in his arms. Takes a can of cat food and a can opener. Doesn't forget to take the precious famous painting of Julian. Then he goes to the police station and surrenders himself. In the interrogation room, Hutch has a cigarette in his mouth, opening the can of cat food, starts feeding the cat leisurely. The cop asks Hutch, "Who the hell are you?" Hutch replies, "Just a nobody." The cop naturally won't believe it. Just then, the cop's phone rings. Hutch has someone up there, so he is released unharmed. Returns to the life of an ordinary nobody. This film is titled Nobody. If you loved it, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe. It's a fantastic watch, so don't miss out on the original. Can't wait to see you all next time. Bye.